Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Line Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. I'm gonna do, before we do anything, crazy here, we're gonna do one more Eden run, and then I'm gonna go do a Lost run potentially, but we'll see how this Eden run goes. Decent start, QSZG SV18. We have Blooderites, which is bad unless we get a particular set of synergies, but then we have Toxic Shock Syndrome, which is awesome. And will definitely compensate for the fact that we have seemingly pretty poor damage and maybe an average rate of fire right now. But again, that stuff doesn't really matter because Toxic Shock Syndrome effectively lowers all enemies' HP by possibly 100% depending on who you're asking here, but definitely like a decent amount. Except on that room where the grandfather fly survived longer than I'd like to admit, but you don't really need to have high damage if you're going to kill most enemies in 3 or 4 hits regardless as a result of Toxic Shock Syndrome. But really all this does is give us kind of like a free pass right now. You know, it's like being a kind of a shithead, but you're really good at hockey and you're like in high school. So you're like, well, you know, Damien is failing all his classes, he's not doing very well, and he treats people like garbage, but we really do need him for the high school hockey team. So you know what, just let it slide for now. But in the future, you know, Damien, you gotta revise your behavior, otherwise people are not gonna respect you once being good at high school hockey, you know, no longer carries any relevance. That's not a story from my personal life. Despite growing up in Canada, my high school did not have a hockey team, believe it or not. In general, I guess, like, we don't have the same, even though we love hockey in Canada, we don't have the same culture about, like, sports to the same extent that, like, American high school football does, I suppose. It's more, you play on private clubs. I guess it's more like a European style. You know how you play for like the Barcelona under 14 team. You don't play for like San Mateo High, you know, Thunderbirds or something like that. Anyway. And there are high school sports in Canada. I'm not saying there's not, but it's a lot of like basketball, despite the fact that Canada as a country doesn't have the best track record in international basketball, and a lot of volleyball. I have no idea how Canada's track record is in international volleyball because I don't think I've ever seen volleyball on the television unless there are some scantily clad ladies in bikinis playing it. I'm not saying it's not a sport. I'm not saying the sport only exists for titillation purposes. I'm just saying it probably does benefit, that was terrible dodging, probably does benefit the ratings. If that's what it takes to get the fine sport of volleyball on television, then so be it. Oh, good. It's a wooden nickel, which is very unfortunate. Can we talk about, you know, earlier I was like, man, my damage is not that good, but it doesn't really matter right now. It's starting to matter as I'm fighting this dingle here, and he's taking so many goddamn hits. Like, we got Skinny Odd Mushroom, which obviously lowers our damage, but increases our rate of fire proportionally. It's taken us 4 goddamn ever to kill this guy. He cannot be killed. Meet the cop who can't be stopped. We're going to be out of here in a relatively realistic amount of time, though. It's going to be like 3.5, maybe 3 minutes and 45 seconds, depending on what we get at the end here. I actually hope that we get maybe Cardboard Box or even Matchbook. I mean, it's not the most thrilling of all the upgrades. I don't know how we poisoned him there. He got poisoned by his own fart or something. Happens to the best of us, man. That's what happens when you get older, start to develop a lactose intolerance. We just got HP, but truth be told, that's not that bad. Because we will now have 2 HP going down to the next floor. Really would like to pick up a damage increase. Even more so than a tears increase. Even though it seems like it's, you know, 2 sides of the same coin. We can't go into that room, so let's just go this way. Take the long way home. Take the long way. Okay. Come down through here. Feels good to be back. And you know what? It feels good to be back with a decent streak as well. That last... Oh, that was very poor damage. That last run I did was horrible in terms of my personal play, and I kind of have prided myself a little bit in Isaac in playing okay despite having terrible luck sometimes. And that's not me saying that most of my runs have terrible luck. You know, the expression Northern Lion luck exists for a reason, but obviously the kind of runs you feel the best about are ones where you played a little bit better than the game actually wanted you to play, and you kind of succeed as a result of that. Oh, yeah, right. Can't get in there. We had, like, the opposite of that on our last run. And by we, I mean me. I gotta take responsibility for that. hopefully we can persevere a little bit here. So far, it's so decent. You know, no amazing plays, no terrible plays. I think we're doing all right with the cards that we've been dealt, but if we could actually chain a streak together here of good Eden and Lost runs, I would be thrilled. What do we got here? Monstro. So does Blood Rights take red hearts or spirit hearts? I use this item so infrequently. It takes red hearts. Okay, that's really good to know, actually. That one took a spirit heart because it takes full red hearts. Okay, so you know what? That's the price you pay. You want to get a bachelor's degree in chemistry? You're gonna get a C in Orgo, probably. You gotta take your lumps to get the accreditation here. Now I've got a first-hand tactile knowledge, not tactical, but tactile knowledge of how to use Blood Rights more effectively in the future. Please don't make me fight Krampus here. I would really like to trade some HP away for something good. Speed upgrade is fine. Sure, Sack Dagger and some Spirit Hearts. Dagger in the hearts. That doesn't really work, but Benny and the Jets is just a ubiquitous reference. Works every time. Speed upgrade plus... Oh, wow, that was Herculean in its idiocy. Now, what I was gonna say is the belt for a speed upgrade combined with a great orbital and Sack Dagger is actually a mildly synergistic pickup, I would say. It's not the be-all end-all. It's not the most incredible pickup I've ever had. I think that there's a Tinted Rock back here, so we're gonna try to leverage all of our available advantages without forgetting the Yara rune. So the Spirit Heart is here, which could also be a secret room. So you put down Wheel of Fortune right next to it, you blow it up, no secret room, quite a lot of money and some Spirit Hearts. We also got a card that gives us the World. The World card will tell us where we're supposed to go here. World card! And again, continue to not forget the Yara rune. We're gonna bomb our way in here and hope that somehow we end up being able to get a bomb, maybe, and then go into our shop and then buy a key. Obviously, this isn't how this worked out, but it's hard to be too mad about the way things went here, because we did pick up quite a lot of money. I'm just amazed at how many golden chests we've had to sort of suffer through silently, despite not having any keys. We got four golden chests on this floor. And of course the shop and the item room, which we can't go to. That's a little bit of a bummer, and to be honest with you, we didn't get the number one thing I wanted, which was more damage, but we did get it indirectly in the form of the of Sack Daggers. So I do think that we're gonna be a little bit behind the curve right now, and that's okay, because at least we're not, you know, it's not like we have no way out in this situation. We're doing all right. Yeah, that was... I don't know why I decided to get close there. That was a bit of a silly decision on my part. When you kill enemies with Toxic Shock, do they become... do they leave Poisonous Creep? Ah, they do leave Poisonous Creep. I thought maybe we could get close enough to that bomb fly to kill them without having to get caught in the explosion, but that was obviously incredibly silly. Alright. I'm not Yara-ing this nonsense back here, okay? The Yara is going to be used to give us 16 more items on the chest. That's right, not even 4 more items on the chest. It's going to give us 16 because we're going to get Blank Card. And somehow we're also going to be able to use Blood Rights effectively while having another spacebar item. And we're all going to be happy baby boys here. That was an accident to use that key there. It spawned a little too close for comfort, and I did not get out of the way in time. But it could have worked out, man. It could have given us a key. That was bullshit right there. Right there. Sincerely. That enemy dodged not into us, but across our front. Our anterior side, if you will. Now we're taking far too much dumb damage. Slow your roll on the idiocy. Drop a bomb to find the secret room. Inside of the secret room, I mean, we got so much money. It'd be really nice to be able to, you know, spend it, but I digress. Oh, these turkeys. I think it says a lot about our run right now that we have Toxic Shock, and still, it takes us, you know, 18 hits to kill any enemy that we come across. We're weakening them, taking off like 50% of their HP, and still can't get it done easily. Nothing there, alright? Still no keys. To be fair, that one is a little bit of my own idiocy now as a result of the fact that, of course, we actually did have the opportunity to hold the key in our hands and somewhat squandered it. Gotta have brass balls to stay in here in this situation because these guys are going to start to rush us down. I was thinking that we would probably get through that just fine. You know what? Rarely in Isaac do you have a run that's just total shit. And I mean that in the sense that I don't think this run is total shit. I think the difference between this run and an average run might not be that much, really. But right now it seems like it's a lot because of the fact that we've got nothing going for us. But this run could blossom into something incredible. We just have to give it, you know, we have to get the burn rate on our HP low enough that we can live to actually get what we need. But you say I'm just a friend. Wait, no, you say he just a friend. That's right. I forgot the pivotal lyrics in that song. Now we have one key. That was very lucky that my brain ran those calculations in time to figure out where the hell to stand there to not get screwed. I think we should really go to our shop before we go to the boss fight. And my reasoning for that is very, very simple. I would love to replace blood rights with, like, a red candle, for example, or a blue candle, or a black candle, or really any form of illuminating device, including a nightlight. But we can also get a key in here, and there should be no chance of getting greed. There's no key. There is fanny pack, and you know what? I'll buy the spirit heart, and I'll even buy the pill. Pill was tears down. That's like a huge kick in the teeth. The Emperor. It's not really worth it. Hey everybody, sorry about that, my hard drive filled up again. So I was just talking about how it was a kick in the teeth that we didn't get anything good from our shop. In fact, we actually got bad things in the form of a tears down pill. Weirdly enough, maybe our rate of fire was low enough that it doesn't seem to have affected me that much. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. I'm not sure at this point. But we'll continue moving on here. A key beggar is great for sploding. And, I mean, the money is just... It keeps coming, but unfortunately we're not getting the damage that we need to really benefit here, or the keys for that matter. All right, this is a start. Lucky foot at least gives us something to work with. We may or may not have a good chance at a deal with the devil here. In fact, I'd say probably odds are we don't have a great chance at a deal with the devil here. There was no key for sale in the shop, so sadly I kind of feel like we just go straight to our straight to our boss fight, which I know is not in this direction, but I figured let's take a crack at it. This is our shop, which means this is a dead end. Okay. Yeah, let's move it along here. Let's move it along. Did we go this way yet? Okay, we haven't been this way. I'd still like to do every room just to see if we can get a key, because, you know, skipping 2 item rooms... Thank God for our speed upgrades. Skipping 2 item rooms is really, really bad for our chances in the future, you know? People always talk about compound interest. Oh, if you put 50 bucks into your savings account every week, here's how much money you'll have, assuming a 7% return rate by the time you hit age 50. And it's always, you know, a sum of money that is pretty nice. I am embarrassed that I got hit there, to be honest with you, but Squeezy's pretty good. But you know, if you miss a year or two of those deposits, it's gonna have a disproportionate impact on your chances of hitting that number you want to hit. Holy crap! Fanny Pack has actually allowed us to get a key. It allowed us to get 2 keys, but I'd rather not speak about that. 3 keys, maybe. Now we come back. We got 16 cents. Not necessary, really, because we've already been to our shop and bought something. But we're gonna quickly motor over to this item room, and you know, Squeezy plus Lump of Coal by itself is a pretty decent combination. Then we get Gimpy here, which is not immediately amazing, but we can start to put together the pieces of a winning run here. And I mean this as genuinely as I possibly can, considering we're like 4 minutes behind schedule for where I'd like to be time-wise, which is very indicative of not having great damage. But Gimpy plus Fanny Pack means, you know, we go to an arcade if one exists and we have the money for it, and all of a sudden we're starting to reap awesome rewards here, you know? We're starting to get spirit hearts and money for playing the arcade, and then we also have a good chance to get keys as well as a result of the fanny pack. Maybe not a good chance to get keys, but it can add up, which... If there's an expression that I hate in the English language, actually there's many expressions I hate in the English language. It adds up is probably one of my least favorites, because it's a truism, because everything adds up. I mean, does it add up meaningfully? That's what people were like, well, you know, I reuse my tea bags to save money. You're like, well, what does that save you? Like 2 cents a day? Like, it adds up. Yeah, it adds up to like $3 a year. That's you're never gonna do anything with that. You know, you're gonna turn 70, you're gonna have a couple $100 extra and be like, all right. It's not that that's, I'm not poo-pooing, you know, having a couple $100 If you want to give me some right now, I'd be interested. But at the risk of having half diluted tea for the entirety of my life leading up to that point, I would probably say, you know what, keep the change. Not to mention, you know, with inflation, you start making you know, $3 a year when you're 80, that's not worth it. Look, this is not the financial market analysis with Northern Lion. I'm just saying. People are always like, it adds up. Everything adds up, except for, like, negative numbers. I mean, even they add up. They add up to just negatives. Further negatives. You get the idea, though. Whenever somebody says it adds up, that's basically my reason, or what I think about when people say that is, I'm gonna do this even if it doesn't make sense and you can't stop me. And that's okay. People should have autonomy to that degree, for sure. Ooh. Interesting, but I don't want to do that yet. It's the same thing, and I talk about this about once every 3 days on this fucking show, but people say, take care of the pennies, the pounds take care of themselves. That is not true. It's not true. If you reuse your tea bags, but you buy a house and get a mortgage you can't afford, the pennies are not going to take care of the pounds, man. The pounds are gonna fuck your pennies. Yera? Yera. I mean, we should have Yera'd the Bracano route. We have 4 Yeras, man. Remember, you can't Yera a Yera, but we're not gonna take 3 with us, so I guess we might as well make battery charges, and, I mean, I guess there's a... I'm trying to think of how we do this that actually makes sense. If we can carry, like, a Justice card in there, and then get Blank card, maybe there's something to be said about, you know, that room, but... For now, it's just kind of like, you know, too many Yeras in the kitchen. Take care of the Yeras, the Algas take care of themselves. Man, we're getting a lot of deals with the devil. That is something I appreciate a great deal. And you know what? Dark Bomb kind of continues our march on this run towards, at the very least, you know, self-sufficiency from an HP standpoint. And that's pretty much... It's the only prerequisite I think that was terrible damage. It's the only prerequisite I really think we have for success. It also synergizes very nicely with, well, the Lover's card, yes, but synergizes very, very nicely with Gimpy creating so many, red hearts for us. But, we have enough damage to win the game, and this is gonna sound idiotic, I think, until I get a chance to explain it, at which point it'll still sound idiotic, but at least I'll have, you know, said my piece on it. We have enough damage to win the game. I don't know, you try this bad boy maybe? 2 of spades? Sure, I'll take it. We have enough damage to win the game, even though it may not seem like we have enough damage to win the game. I really do think we have enough damage to win, just through Sack Dagger. Everything else is a bonus, and whether or not that bonus ends up working out for us, not so much so far, but we're starting to get there. All we need in order to ensure that we can kind of continue keeping this train rolling is basically as much HP as the game will muster. Your threshold for required damage gets a lot lower the more damage you have personally. Or sorry, the more HP you have personally. So, oh my god, he actually saved us a bomb, or was there like a troll bomb or something that went off there? Must have been a troll bomb or something that went off there. Thank you, Gimpy. Making it profitable to actually be hit. I appreciate that. Ooh, we got our key back. Got an Empress card I will not use because I'm too attached to this Yera rune. This room has ended up being very much worth our while. And Head of the Keeper's fine. Now the ultimate synergy to keep us in the money HP-wise would definitely be like Bloody Penny. If we can get Bloody Penny, we're in an amazing position. So I'm gonna anger a lot of people here. I'm going to basically play the shit out of this blood bank. And it's working out pretty well so far, but I'm mostly trying to farm consumables, and if we get extra luck, or if we get extra what am I trying to say here? If we get extra keys from Fanny Pack, that would be ideal. But it worked out okay. I'm not even going to pick up IV Bag. There's a chance I might want it later, but I certainly do not want it now. And this is a strange run in the sense that despite our damage having perhaps even gotten worse since the first floor, we're starting to eke out an alternative form of victory here. It's like we got a weird win condition or something on this run. But it's going. It's going. It would be really, really nice if you would just give me, like, almost... Oh, I almost stood in the right spot there. Instead, I got hit twice. But I got a golden key. It would be really, really nice if I can get any DPS upgrade. And I'm not going to poo-poo anything at this point. You know, if you want to give me an attack fly... At least that's an alternative source of damage. We definitely should get the bombs there. We have hit a level of, and normally this word has some consequences associated with it, you know, some negatives. We've hit a level of complacency that is a little frightening, but at the same time, I have respect for complacency. Complacency gets a very bad rap in most societies, I think, because it's always like, oh, you know, you reached a level that you're happy with, and now you've gotten complacent. You ain't hungry anymore, right? And that's, I'll admit, you know, having ambition is an admirable thing up to a point. But complacency is important, man. To be able to be complacent is well, it sounds like a little backhanded, but it's a trait that I kind of envy. You know, if you're retired, you should be complacent, man. You should wake up whenever you want to wake up, have a coffee. Do whatever the fuck you want to do with your day. You know, you don't need to start another business if you don't want to. You've already done your part. Just live your life. You know, you gave the factory 50 years. It's time to be fucking complacent. You did your good deed. Now, we're not quite at that point. We've worked at the factory here like a year and a half, and we're like, man, can't wait till I can clock out, get my pension. And this is not a healthy attitude for us to have at this point in our run. That being said, we didn't even have prospects for that job in the... look, the metaphor's getting stretched a little bit here, okay? But basically, you know, our dad, he's like the executive VP of manufacturing, and we're like, okay, so we're never going to lose this job. But we should start taking it a little bit more seriously, I'll give you that. I'm going back for the Yara rune. But at the same time, how am I supposed to, you know, do well at the factory, Dad? It's not like I ever had any damage support from you growing up. Like, where the heck is my damage upgrades? When Isaac starts a run, he gets the D6. He's insulated from indignity. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. It's getting too real, man. Most people don't know the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth is actually based on my life. Well... Prepare to take damage, probably. No? We'll open that chest, but first... Oh, yeah, I'm gonna reroll the whole run. It's been fun. I've earned the full run reroll. We got, like, a charge... Oh, okay, we've won. Yeah, we've won the game. We're very slow. I will admit that. But we also now have incredibly slow charging Tech X shots. And really, it's Tech X. Tech X wins you the game, so... we've probably got an easy win here. Let's just see how it looks when we find an actual enemy to just screw up here. I don't know if we have... No, we definitely do not have the left hand. Explosivo's not going to do anything. Decent amount of HP for sure. I don't know if Tiny Planet does anything here. Seems to cause our shots to hit the wall, but if we charge up enough, it's actually good that our shots hit the wall because they cover the whole screen regardless, so... We're pretty much in the clear. How is that thing still alive? Let's not be ridiculous here. Yeah, this is... I mean, there's a little bit of a blind spot, admittedly, here. Now we can absolutely be complacent. We just invented a new tool and die mechanism that saved our company quite a lot of money. And they say, hey, we're going to give you a golden parachute. Get out of here. And you say, yes, sir. I've become complacent. And it's okay because I shoot giant freaking laser beams out of my head. Ooh, and we also got a guppy item. I'm not going to stretch the metaphor any further, but this is like we came back and we said, you know that tool and die mechanism that I invented? Well, here's a new non-slip floor mat that's going to save you guys a few tens of thousands of dollars a year in workers' compensation claims. Look, it's... Northern Line, what would you say is the key to making successful commentary on YouTube? talk about financial markets a lot, and the power of compound interest to an audience predominantly consisting of people that are too young to be considering investing as a serious concern. And definitely make sure to talk about the ins and outs of, you know, like factory policy, and make extended metaphors about what it's like to be a blue-collar worker in a pension-based field. Something you know nothing about, but can offer a little bit of presumption, I suppose. Alright. I'm not even picking up consumables at this point because I'm just mad. I think we're just gonna go get through this floor. I don't know how you shoot at these guys because our shots are going off the wall like Michael Jackson's pre-Thriller album that honestly might even be better than Thriller, even though it doesn't have the same kind of, like, you know, cultural crossover. Not that it's an unknown album. Michael Jackson's off the wall? Yeah, he is. Off the planet. He's gonna freeze himself. Alright, move on here. Here's a riddle about Michael Jackson's Off the Wall. Side 1, track 1, opens with a ooh! Dooba 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 doo boop. And then, you know, it's wanna be starting something, right? He says, it's too high to get over. Yeah, yeah. Too low to get under. Yeah, yeah. You're stuck in the middle. Yeah, yeah. And the pain is thunder. And first off, pain should be lightning. Actually, thunder is just the noise that gets Michael Jackson. It's just the noise that gets made when the lightning strikes. The pain would be lightning, which actually carries the electrical energy. I've been trying to solve that riddle since I was like 7 years old. I don't know if it's meant to be a riddle or if it's just I don't understand the meaning of the lyric. However, it sounds like a riddle, doesn't it? What's too high to get over? What's too low to get under? And if you're stuck in the middle, the pain is thunder. I don't know. A hurricane? A tornado? I guess the world may never know at this point. Not red chest, so I'm not interested. I will say, our damage leaves a little bit to be desired at this point. Having the flies helps. And I mean, Tech X is probably by itself enough to win almost any run. But I would love to pick up, I don't know, that's not gonna work. I would love to pick up, like, Proptosis or something. I mean, it's a big ask, but still. It's too high to get over. Okay, what's too high to get over and too low to get under? I don't know, like a skyscraper? I can't jump over the Empire State Building, and I can't really get under the Empire State Building unless they build like a service tunnel or something, and then we're back to the blue-collar analogies I've been working on earlier, and I don't know. That was very bad damage on my part. Maybe it's something more, or less corporeal. Maybe it's not a building, maybe it's a concept. Maybe it's about prejudice or something. I honestly wouldn't know. But it's been bothering me for quite some time, as you can tell. I wish at the end of the song, you know, it was like, you know, gonna be starting something, and then it ends, and he just goes, it's a hurricane. The song's about a hurricane. And I'd be like, oh! But more songs being riddles would be, I think that's positive for us as a society. So if you're an aspiring songwriter, #1 tip that I can give you, more riddles, man. Oh, we're Stompy? We're probably Thunder Thighs because our speed is pretty bad. But good to know, man. Good to know. When I was in 10th grade, it's different in other parts of the world, but in 10th grade in Ontario, the province where I grew up, we still have general science, so instead of having like 10th grade chemistry, I'm just gonna go to this cursor room. We just had 10th grade science, and it was a half-year course that talked about chemistry, biology, physics, etc., etc. Doesn't get that in depth, but then again, you are 14, 15, 16 years old, so we used to have extra credit at the start of every class for like a riddle, and I did very well in that class because I was solving riddles left, right, and center. I mean, I was doing my work in the class as well. But every day they'd start class with a riddle, and they give you 10 minutes to think about it. As a kid, I was like, what does this have to do with science? And then as an adult, I was like, oh, they're just trying to keep the kids quiet. But then you know what? When I got even older than that, I realized that teaching people how to solve, or giving people the opportunity to solve riddles is actually it's teaching a very important lesson in science. And that's that you gotta think critically. I think Not that I'm a science educator myself, but I have a degree in biology. Not that that means anything. Unlike some people, I'm not going to say that you should listen to me because I've got a degree in biology. I mean, they give out about, 400,000 of those annually across North America, probably, so it doesn't make me particularly special. But anyway, it's so much memorization. What's the oxalate acidosis cycle? What's the freaking, what's G3P stand for, And this stuff is very important, don't get me wrong. But they don't teach enough logical thought, which is the foundation of science in general. Logic and rational thinking and, systematically, I really shouldn't have tested that, but I wanted more room there. Systematically testing stuff and testing what you expect to happen against what actually happened and trying to derive reasons for that. That's science, man. That's the core of science, and riddles teach you that. You're like, oh, the bigger it gets, the less it weighs, and you're like, what? The bigger it gets, the less it weighs? Could it be an elephant? No, that doesn't even make any sense. Could it be a helium balloon? Maybe it could be a helium balloon, and then you test it against the other conditions. This is going really badly right now, by the way. Lots of dumb damage here. Thank you, Little Haunt, for spacing that dude out. I really appreciate that. We gotta go Guppy's Paw. Even though it's quite frightening. It gives us a second Guppy item and a little bit more HP. We'll head down to the next floor. I'm not proud of my performance there. That should be obvious, but what's done is done. I got a little up my own butt about the Michael Jackson riddle. And that's, if anything, there's been a recent... This is another thing you probably should talk about if you want to get big on YouTube, is politics in your province of choice that other people probably have no... relation to, many other people at least. In British Columbia, the province in which Vancouver resides, or exists, I don't know what you'd use there, they announced that they're going to start moving programming classes into every single middle school and high school curriculum in the next 5 or 6 years. And I was like, you know what? That's great, because even if a kid doesn't want to become a computer programmer, even if a kid doesn't want to become a computer, learning programming teaches you systematic, debugging and rational kind of thought that I think is valuable, I kind of consider it the same as almost like a philosophy class that teaches you logical fallacies and stuff like that. It's a fundamental change to your way of thinking that can help you in industries that are not even necessarily related to the industry you eventually want to end up in. But I digress. And in fact, as I digress, I took a buttload of bad damage there, just a truckload of bullshit. So we're gonna try to get back to a certain level of decency here. And yes, I did take the left hand, and I do it again, gosh darn it. I wouldn't hesitate for an instant until the one-armed man is brought to justice. We're gonna get a... Oh, come on. You got there, man. We're gonna get a red chest. Oh, you fucker. It never went that far. We're gonna get a red chest. This red chest is gonna contain spirit hearts. So far, so bad. But we might even duplicate it if it contains spirit hearts. There's no reason to duplicate it beforehand unless we have reason to believe it has guppy items in it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Not good enough. Well, good, but not good enough. Let's take the Eternal Heart, even though it ruins permanent Polaroid invincibility. Again, there should be no reason that we can't win this run. Watch out for those. You can step on those accidentally. All we gotta do, tighten up a little bit. Stop eating so many carbs. Eat breakfast so you're not hungry. You don't want to snack throughout the day. And then, world's our burrito here. Ooh, a dime. Is it top of the line? Who cares? It's got the same monetary value as all the other dimes out there. Let's do that. I thought maybe we'd get a free special mushroom out of it. Okay, don't walk into the mushrooms. We got very lucky to not get hit there. And really, getting hit once is actually a colossal problem right now. I'm actually going to bomb my way out of this room because I don't trust myself to not get hit against enemies that I can't see. At least with this kind of damage and this manner of shooting as well, which is a little unusual. Stop stepping on rocks, man. Stop stepping on a rocks, man. I just stepped on a rock while singing. Stop stepping on rocks, man. Those are not spirit hearts. Range up is fine. Speed up is really good and actually very, very useful. We can step on these rocks. We can make ourselves a nice little bunker here to hang out in, but don't step on those ones. I am scared. Well, scared is not the right word, because I'm an adult and this is a video game. But I'm a little anxious, I should say, about my chances against Mom's Heart. But we should have an okay opportunity here. And if we make it to the cathedral, we'll have 1 more HP. Well, we'll have a red heart. Whether that's 1 more HP or not remains to be seen. We could also get a deal with the devil here. We didn't see the deal with the devil on this floor, right? That was the deal with the devil on the last floor? No, that was the deal with the devil on this floor, wasn't it? He can't be hit. This thing cannot be hit, so prepare yourself for that. We kind of need to shoot from up top. From downtown! It's NBA Jam. It's an NBA Jam reference right there. What's the difference between NBA Jam and NBA Jelly? See, I'm looking, well, there is no difference. I just made that one up. Okay, I mean, Athame, I don't want to say Athame screwed us. Oh no! That sucks real bad. I apologize for that one. That was totally my bad. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. There's the end of the streak. Maybe the reroll killed us, man. We did have great defense. Well, the reroll and my own idiocy. I didn't want to keep moving around behind Mom's Heart because I thought she might hit me, but that was stupid in hindsight. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.